was thinking the other day that we were looking at data, we were looking at disparities in achievement. And I started thinking, all the parents I've met in the decades I've been an educator want what's best for their children. They're committed to their success in school and life. Same for educators. All educators come to this profession wanting to make, be agents of change and make a difference in children's life and society in general. So if educators and families want what's best for children, why do we have these disparities in achievement? Why do we see so many differences? And it just, it made me think a lot, and it made me think about my own childhood and my own upbringing. Especially my mother was a source of inspiration, who, the first person in her family, along with her sisters, but, she completed a doctoral degree, became a professor of professors, and she's a source of inspiration. But that I didn't think there was another choice. Even though my family was poor, we didn't have material things. We had an incredible educational capital and an incredible aspiration and the knowledge that education was the key to success. And it was also kind of a liberating force. In first grade, believe it or not, there was, in Puerto Rico, they have graduations for kindergarten, for first grade. There's multiple moments in which kids' achievements are celebrated, which is great, and that's a cultural thing which we can talk about. But so for the graduation for first grade, and I had just turned 6, right? They gave a medal for academic achievement, like the overall. Imagine a 6-year-old, right? And everybody thought that I was going to get it. I was the one, and it ended up that the daughter of somebody who owned a lot of businesses, etc., was the one who received it. And it was kept a secret until that day. And it was like such a disappointment. For me, it was like, oh, I didn't really understand it. Yeah. But then I heard afterwards, well, you didn't get it because you're a poor kid from La Felicita, which is a rural area where we were. Yeah. And so that was the first time, and so it made me ponder. It made me think, wow. At the same time, I had more than many others, and even this child. Yes. So I didn't look at life through that, but it was the first time I realized, oh, I don't have as much as others, and having more in terms of material things made a difference in terms of being celebrated.
So in that moment, because it takes me to perception, the perception of the child.
Yes.
Up until that point, you were like, I'm just here to learn. I feel good about my accomplishments. And then there's that moment where you realize, maybe this isn't for me in the way that it's being mirrored back to acknowledge my accomplishments. And I hear that a lot. Does the child, when they're in the school, perceive that they belong in the building, that they perceive that the education is for them, that these teachers are there to teach them and for them?
Yes, that is why the focus of every school and one of the main priorities of every school leader, teacher, staff member is to make the school climate, make students feel like they belong, that they would be missed if they're not there, and that they're an integral part of that community. So we celebrate being able to have children see themselves in the walls, in the curriculum, in the topics that are discussed, in what's celebrated, in seeing how our families are accepted, honored. So that's one belief that we held really close and that we try to make true for every child.
Because a lot of times we focus on the academics and we wonder, why is this not getting through, or why is this not working, or I try a different approach to academics, not realizing that sometimes when we show the child, we see your potential, and we expect that from you because we know you can do it. The children meet us halfway, actually, sometimes. How much do you think that makes a difference in the child's ability to
Well,
achieve?
we see it every day, and I've seen it every day. And again, I've been an educator for decades, and having the right relationship with children and their families, meaning a trusting, helping relationship. One where children trust you, and trust others in the classroom. So it's about the classroom and school climate, that they have, what's best for them. That's what's best for everybody. And they take it even for granted to that point. So culturally, it's so important for us to be astute as to what different cultures need and value.
Yeah.
So sometimes parents do not come to school. Parents, assume that good things are happening for their children.
Yes.
Sometimes they didn't go to school, or sometimes in their countries it is perceived that educators are the ones with the knowledge, and they're going to make sure that every kid succeeds. And so those cultural differences are important as educators. So we have to remember that the fact that a parent is not there every day, parent guardian, first because of job and other family and other realities, but it's also that culture of, am I in partnership, and what does that mean? And that's school to home communication, but it's, relationships and how students feel and how they feel welcome, honored, revered as they're part of it. And this is important, that they're going to be missed when they're absent,
That's
that we
right.
care.
Yeah.
So when that happens, students in a better position for learning.
Absolutely. And that goes across the board. I mean, I'm assuming we have 40, I say this everywhere because it excites me to knowing that we have over 40 languages spoken within our school. And it's easy on the surface to assume that's a barrier to be able to reach
no.
all the kids, but there's that universal language of you matter, period.
Universal language of, this is your place,
Yes.
this is our place, you're safe here. We're going to do everything in our power to make you feel like you're part of family, because you are.
So let's talk about that. What are the things that we do to try to make sure that that does happen for children?
So, leaders do different things at different levels. So let's go into the school leader, for example. So it's important that the principal, assistant principal of a school make sure that their teachers, working with them closely, paraeducators and everybody else in the building, every single person matters, that they're all in sync, and that, first of all, they love children. They see the potential in children. They know that all children can learn, and they can all move forward at different levels and, in different ways. And that they know who their children are attending their schools. They know their families. They know their values. And then they create a school climate that is inclusive. Again, I can't highlight enough that teachers, good teachers, and we have them in our schools, obviously, get to know who's in front of them in the classroom. How many children come from families who don't speak English, or who are English language learners, or who are speaking 3 languages at home? How many, families who have blended families, families whose parents, or there's only one parent, the ratio between number of adults and children in their families, etc., and what their realities are, so that they can use that to support their child. So at the school level, teachers, paraeducators, and all the staff, from the bus drivers to the custodians to the cafeteria folks, they all work together for that, to make that for every child. And then clearly at the district level, as we have here in central office, so we've been lucky enough to be able to have a family center. This is the 2nd year that we have. We've created this to be a hub for all families. So we say we want all questions, all thoughts or ideas. If we don't have an answer, we're committed to getting the answer for folks. So we welcome everybody. Who have programming for everybody, workshops. We have lectures, and we have other services like the dental van. We're now going to do the vision mobile and other things. We also have programming for all families living in the apartment complexes. So we kind of, because they tend to be a little segregated and away from sometimes transportation issues, we also bring a series called Juntos We Play, in which we have carnival games. We give out books, we play, we provide a meal, and we also bring some of the social agencies that can support them. We bring information to them. We also have, we work closely with staff. We have right now this year, we have 16 staff members who have committed to doing workshops and lectures, so learning from our own experts in the different fields. We work through the parent guardian organization, so all the people, all the fabulous parents who raise money and help organize activities for the schools, working with us. And we work closely with the town and with the other agencies, so we're really lucky to be able to have that and provide that for our families.
So the goal is just to be a resource for families so that you rig it's for success to make sure that children can succeed.
Yeah, so we're advocates for children, advocates for staff, and we like to be that glue that ties them all together. Because everybody, and at times of trauma, or at times of need, or at times of inquiries, it's really hard sometimes to focus. But our focus is always the child, the student, a young adult who's in our school, and the way to get to solutions are working with families. And it's really great because we have established incredible relationships with families.
And in only 2 years.
Exactly.
That's
So
a short time for AIM, actually.
and the great thing is that now we have families who've worked closely with us, who are now going to be part of our, kind of like our board to help us
That's
continue the work. And it's all due to everybody's willingness to come together. There was a need to have this for our schools because the schools in Amherst, as fabulous as they are and as wonderful as they are and continue to be, our population, our demographics have changed.
Yeah.
With that change comes amazing resources, amazing diversity,
Yeah.
and great opportunities for us to have a more global perspective and for us to understand and reach out and widen our horizons and our understanding, and also some challenges because, like you said, there's about 46 languages other than English spoken in our schools, and families who come here from all walks of life. They come here for the universities, to be graduate students, to teach. But we have folks who are here who are undocumented, who are here for education and to provide their children what they weren't able to have, take advantage of great education. We have elderly folks who've been here their whole lives, or people who've chosen this to be their home, their retirement home.
And what a benefit to us as a community
it's
to
amazing.
have people from all over the world.
Exactly, and that's our greatest resource, our
Yes.
community, as you know, with the work you're doing, and we're working in collaboration. So I would say that we're much better and more exciting because of the wonderful array of folks that we have.
Absolutely.
But similarly, we have to honor everybody.
Yes.
It can't just be that we listen to you more because you're this or that, or that you have more material things. The majority of the jobs now require being bilingual, bicultural at the very least.
That's very
and
true.
Clearly, if you leave the United States, it's at least 3 or more languages, et cetera. So,
Absolutely.
so I think we're in a great place, and we can do some great things and take advantage of our resources to help one another. And this is about caring one another and seeing everybody rise. Family Center is for everyone.
Yes.
So we're
'Cause
open.
sometimes people don't realize it.
No.
it's for all
And
families.
we're lucky because we have folks. We have a social worker from Family Outreach of Amherst, which is in our office. So between our advisors, between our coordinators, we have a youth leadership coordinator as well. We have the out of school time coordinator. We provide programming too, before school for all children, after school, summer programming. So all of that comes, from the Family Center. And I would say people can just stop by, people can call anytime, but from housing questions to people in real need or people with other kinds of issues, because as we know, mental health does not discriminate.
Thank you.
And
Yes,
this
thank
is,
you.
as an
That's right.
example, there's a need for a lot of mental health support. There's a need for for other kinds of family outreach and needs, etc. And again, if we don't have it at the moment, we're committed to finding out how we can help folks. So this is for everybody.
And it's always nice to have an advocate in the school.
Yeah, and
which is great.
we're a hub. We're a hub before school, after school. We have children getting tutoring. Students today, there's 3 seniors completing scholarship applications. So it's great. We
Once
just
again.
had a mother who had an issue with her kid and came to see if we could support them. So we're more than willing. This is about bridging and about being able to support everybody.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay.